Hello friends, and welcome back to my crafty space. My name is Crystal, and in today's video, I am going to put together the second layout in my Pieces Story Kit Crush series for January 2021. This layout was primarily inspired by this card right here that says "Some Pieces of My Heart." And it has this heart piece here that's divided into 5 different sections. What I decided to do was sit down and think about some of the things that make my heart happy, and I wrote them down here on this little notepad right here, this little piece of paper. And then what I want to do is to actually stamp those words inside of the heart and then have them correspond to 5 photographs that represent those 5 different things. So this is essentially how this one's going to come together. This is going to go inside of a traveler's notebook. I love designing pages for traveler's notebooks. I just really enjoy working in that size configuration. So that's where this one is going to go. I am going to put you on fast forward while I work my way through this layout. And then once we have everything done, I'll slow you back down. We'll read through the journaling and then we'll call this one completed. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so jumping into this layout, the first thing I'm going to do is show you how I will add my stamped words into the different sections of this heart. First, what I wanted to do is grab a piece or a roll of washi tape, one that I'm not really going to be using anytime soon. And I'm using this to mask off the areas where I don't want my ink to end up. So I'm just trying to place it around the edge there. And I probably should have put a piece down the side of the card as well. You see how there's that little bit of black showing through. I will use a piece of paper to mask that instead, but then later when I go and do, I forget what number it is, number 5 or number 3, that's up in the upper right-hand corner. I do actually add tape to the mat as well, just so I don't get ink on there. So with this, I wanted to add my words, my 5 different words for things that make my heart happy or things that are important to me, essentially, which are connection, family, friends, creativity, and exploring. I probably should have paid attention to my journaling when I was going about my stamping because, as you'll see at the end of this video, I put some of the words in the wrong spots. So my journaling, I had pre-printed where it said like 01 is family, and then I wrote my journaling about family. 02 is connection, I think, and then I wrote my journaling for that. So I didn't pay attention to that. So in this heart piece, I have connection as number 1 and I'll have family as number 3, and I just kind of put them all over the map instead of being a little bit more attentive to my words. But that's okay. It ends up looking really cool, and I'm totally fine with making mistakes and letting them live inside of my album. There's no reason for me to redo this. It looks good. And when you read the journaling, you'll figure it out. You know which one goes to which, and it's not a big deal. So I masked off that first section there, stamped my words in, and the stamp that I'm using there is a little 3x4 stamp from Ali Edwards. It's a typewriter font that was released in the Read kit. It was like a special kit about books and reading that Ali did a couple years back. That's where that particular stamp set came from. I know there is a newer typewriter font stamp that is larger. I want to say it's a 6x8 stamp set. And I can't remember if the letters in there are larger. You know what? Actually, I take that back. Well, okay. I'll back up to go forward here. So there is a newer stamp set that's a 6x8 typewriter font, and those are going to be larger than what I'm using. But there's also a Variety Alpha stamp set that was designed by Ali and Laura Wanzik. That one has a lowercase typewriter font that's the exact same size as what I'm using in this layout. So you can still find typewriter fonts like that. It's just not going to be the exact same one I am using. Because I'm using the Ali Edwards inks, they are kind of a pigment type of ink. They sit on top of the paper and they need some time to dry before you can touch them. So once I had a few of those spots stamped out with their words, I set it to the side to let it dry and then went to my photos to work on that side. For this, I created a layer template for myself where I could add in 5 different photos in a grid type of look. So I've got 2 photos that are more vertical at the top and 2 that are more vertical at the bottom. And across the middle is this longer horizontal oriented photo. I often times will go into this grid type of setup just because I enjoy the way that it looks. I really like the clean lines. And I also like how I could take the 5 different words that I'm stamping out in the heart and have those relate to a photo. In the photo section, I did also add some of those number stickers, which came in the pieces kit, on top of the photos with the number to designate them to the heart. I believe I made it based on the heart where the words were going to go. So then you've got the heart here that's going to have its words on it. You'll have, and they're numbered 1 through 5 in those sections. You'll have my photos that are numbered 1 through 5. And then in my journaling, I also numbered my journaling 1 through 5. So there's a lot of crossover there. Here's where you can see how this one turned out. I did use 3 different color inks. I have Honeyman, which is the yellow ink from Ali, Redwoods, which is the red ink, and Deschutes, I believe, which is the blue ink. So there's red, yellow, and blue, kind of going for those primary colors here, and really just drawing inspiration from my own photos, which have a lot of different colors in them, and then also just, I don't know, keeping it pretty, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Pretty primary, I suppose. Like I'm not trying to go super crazy with my colors, but I want to add color to this page because my journaling is all on white and the title has a white background. So it just seemed, pretty bare. So by adding my words in a color, it brings a bit more vibrancy to the side of the page. Next to the heart in the original 4x6, there was a sentiment that says some pieces of my heart. And then I think it says the details underneath that. When I was trimming this heart piece out of the card, because my plan is to put this at the top of this traveler's notebook sized page, when I trimmed that out, I made sure to leave myself enough space to be able to trim out the title as well in a rectangle. Once I have that done, I can then adhere it above my journaling, and that gives me a title for the page, some pieces of my heart. This piece, I'm going to add some adhesive to the back of it, and I'm going to stick it at the top of the page and where it's oriented so it looks as though the heart is going off of the page, because there are those 2 sections where in the original design, it was quote unquote going off the page. So I'm sticking it here in the upper left-hand corner. Then I can go ahead and add my title piece underneath that. There is a section of the heart at the bottom that's cut off because it wasn't on, a big canvas. It went off the page on the bottom as well, but it's not as easy to see that. So that doesn't really bother me too much. Then I'm going to go ahead and add my journaling page into my traveler's notebook. I use double-sided adhesive for both this page and the photo page in order to get them in. And then I'll pull over my date stamp to add the date right along the side of the heart and then call this one done. All right, friends, that completes my layout for today. I hope you enjoyed seeing how this one came together, and if you did, I would love a thumbs up on this video down below. And also be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already so you can catch all of my future crafty videos as well. All right, so let's go ahead and read the journaling for this one. So in the heart over here, I have these stamped words that say connection, exploring, family, friends, and creativity, which then correspond to the photos on the right-hand side, and then those are numbered with the stickers here so that they correspond to whichever word it is in the heart that they are meant to represent. So then down below, I have the some pieces of my heart title, and then here is what I said for my journaling. So I said 1, connection. And I should also mention that I did mess up. So they're not all correct. So connection, creativity is correct. Family should have been 3, 4 should have been exploring and 5 should have been friends, but it's okay. You know, we all make mistakes and I'll figure it out as I'm reading the journaling anyway, so it's not that big a deal. Okay, so connection keeps life worthwhile and fills my heart with joy. Sometimes I can be a bit of a recluse, but I truly value connection more than almost anything else in the world. 2, creativity. Creativity is a huge part of who I am and something that brings so much meaning to my life. I love creating art, telling stories, organizing, planning, and anything else to do with creating. 3, family takes up the biggest portion of my heart. Spending time with Aaron and the kids, or with my parents, sister, or in-laws makes my heart so incredibly happy. I love each and every person so much and can't imagine life without them. 4, exploring is something that makes me happy. I love going on adventures and exploring the world around us, whether that's through travel, car rides, hikes, or more. And 5, friends. Friends come next. I've developed so many relationships through the years with friends from various walks of life. I'm so grateful for all the people who have played a friendship role in my life, whether they are still a big part of it now or our lives have taken different paths. I know I wouldn't be the person I am today without them. I'm especially thankful for my book club friends and my siblings, and for my grade school friend Kate, whose path I crossed a few years ago. So my friend Kate and I, we were best friends in like middle school and the beginning of high school, and then lost touch for many, many years. And then in the last couple of years, reconnected and just have a really strong friendship again. And it's really a beautiful thing. Anyway, that is my layout. That is my story. I really, really love this one. I always love the opportunity to sit down and reflect on what truly is in our lives that's bringing us joy and happiness, and how can we focus more on that throughout the course of the year. All right, friends, well, I'm going to be back again next week on Monday with the next layout using the Pieces Story Kit for Story Kit Crush. I will be here on Friday this week with the Story Kit Crush Glow layout. And then on Wednesday, I'll actually be here live at 1:00 p.m. Eastern Time working on Project Life. So maybe I'll see you here for one of those videos. Until then, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye, friends.